My name is Rose Black. I'm the Executive Director for Legacy House of South Jordan. I'm nominating Lauren Mitchell for Personal Touch. She is one of the most caring people I've ever met. I want to share with you a story about Jean, one of our residents. She joined our community from the senior apartments. She worked for the Utah Jazz for 35 years as an usher. It was one of her favorite things, favorite hobby, favorite job. She just loved it. And she made sure everyone knew how much she loved it.
It was, yeah, I'm still a big Jazz fan.
Jean's son let Lauren know that she was going to have to stop working when she moved in, and that was going to be hard for Jean. At that point, Lauren made a mental note that at some point she'd like to do something that involved the Utah Jazz. It just so happened that she found out that she could possibly get tickets, so she made some efforts to go and find tickets. Her efforts didn't go very far because she wasn't able to get tickets because Jean was limited to where she could sit. Her son was talking to somebody about his mom's love for the Utah Jazz, and someone overheard and was able to get him tickets. And they were so excited, but at the same time they were a little saddened because they knew that they couldn't take her. His sister would be working and he wasn't going to be in town. And he called just to ask to see if someone could take Jean. And Lauren said, I'll step up, I'll come, and I'll take Jean to the Jazz game. She came, it was short notice, so Lauren had to come right from her son's basketball game and pick Jean up and head to the stadium. Jean was so excited. Lauren sent me pictures that day of Jean, the biggest smile on her face, and Lauren had an equally big smile on her face. Lauren, I want to congratulate you for winning Personal Touch and for making Personal Touch a part of our community and a part of your everyday life, for being an example for our team and an example to me, for loving our residents and loving everyone that walks through our doors. Thank you for showing everyone what sets us apart, and I'm gonna cry. Thank you for being you, for loving people and letting people feel your love.
Hi, my name is Doug Abelman. I'm the general manager at the Embassy Suites in Portland, Hillsboro. It is my absolute privilege and honor to nominate Mimi EY for the Personal Touch Award. The Palmers came to our building at the first of the year, and when they were checking in with Mimi, Mimi could tell that something wasn't quite right. There was something going on with Mrs. Palmer, and she could tell that Mr. Palmer was quite worried. Mrs. Palmer was kind of pale. And Mimi just started talking to him, kind of asked some careful questions, and found out that Mrs. Palmer had just that day been diagnosed for a 5th time with cancer. And the prognosis wasn't very good. And Mimi felt very touched and moved by that and really wanted to do something for the Palmers. And so she started writing notes daily to Mrs. Palmer specifically, and just words of encouragement, trying to build her up and make her feel better, telling her basically, you can beat this, you've got this, you've done it before, you can do it again. And she, over the course of several visits for chemo treatments, the Palmers and Mimi became very close, and Mimi would continue to write notes for Mrs. Palmer and leave little treats or a flower or something in the room for the Palmers while she was off getting chemo treatments. I wanted to share a letter that Mrs. Palmer wrote to Mimi with you all today. It says, "Dear Mimi, I want to thank you so much for your wonderful spirit and kind heart. It means more than words can express. Your cards fill my heart. You are truly inspiring. When I read the words that you write so beautifully, my spirit soars, and it truly gives me strength. Your mother must have been a truly amazing person. I am sure that so much of her lives on in your sweet spirit. I am sure she smiles from heaven and is so proud of you. We are so grateful you've come into our lives. Please know that we appreciate all you do. Love you, Jerry and Phyllis. It's amazing how easily and comfortably Mimi can engage with somebody and really reach out to them and touch them on a personal level. And that's what personal touch is all about. And I'm so proud to have been able to nominate Mimi for this award. She truly deserves it. She's an example to everyone on our staff. She's an amazing person. It's tough to walk away from a conversation with Mimi without having a big smile on your own face. Mimi, watashi no ane. I just want to tell you that we're very thankful that you're on our team. You're awesome, and we couldn't do it without you. We love you.
I'm David Webster. I'm the Director of Operations for Western States Lodging in the Hospitality Division. And we're here to tell the story of what Enrique has done for Adalia. He does it for a lot of employees, but in particular we want to talk about this story. About 3 years ago, Adalia and her family were going through some struggles as her daughter was recognizing that she was dealing with some depression. And at that time she had to take some time off, and even during this time off that Adalia took, Enrique kept following up and just checking in to make sure she was okay. There were even some instances where he had to help coordinate doctors and translating to make sure that her daughter was getting the care that she needed. She had a couple of good years and then kind of went into another bout of depression. At that time, Adalia kind of had to quit for a couple of months. Even through all of that, even though she wasn't an employee of ours, Enrique was able to continue to help and support Adalia and her daughter through another instance of some depression and some things that were going on with that. And just because he cares about them as people, that was really a great thing that he's been able to reach out and help and make sure that she was getting the care that she needed. And now she's able to work with us again a little bit, and we're grateful to have her back and have her happy with her family. Enrique, I'm grateful that we get to acknowledge you today with this award. We're grateful for the work that you've done with Adalia and her family, and grateful for the work you continue to do and the personal touch you show for the whole team here at the Davis Conference Center. Thanks for your leadership and your building of the culture of personal touch here. It's a great place to be, and it's a great place to work for all these great people.
Enrique, thank you so much for all your support to me and my family. Thank you.
My name's Lauren Mitchell, and I'm the Marketing Director here at Legacy House of South Jordan. And I'm so happy to nominate Rose and Ashley and Cami and Melee for the Personal Touch Award this year. We had an employee last year at Legacy House of South Jordan. Her name's Heidi. Her and her family were really struggling financially. There was a few employees that knew that Heidi and her family were living in the homeless shelter at the time. And Heidi had mentioned to a few of us at work that she would want nothing more but to not spend the holidays in the homeless shelter. So Ashley, Cami, and Rose had the idea to call Melee at the Embassy Suites in West Valley and get Melee to help them provide a hotel room for Heidi and her family over Christmas. They wanted to make it really special for her and her family. So they got together, they called Melee. Melee was able to comp the hotel room, and Melee wanted to be a bigger part of it as well. So her and her staff were able to put together a Christmas tree, and they were going to have it set up in the hotel room on Christmas Eve. But then that got Ashley, Cami, and Rose more involved, and they put together an invitation and had it mailed to Legacy House of South Jordan in Heidi's name, and had Heidi come and pick it up because she wasn't working that day. And when she opened the invitation, and it invited her and her family to come and stay for free at the Embassy Suites for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, she was ecstatic. I got the pleasure to be there when she opened it, and it was amazing to see the look on Heidi's face and how that impacted her. And of course the tears, you can't hold back tears in that moment, because that was all she wanted for Christmas and for her family. You guys, thank you so much for everything that you did for Heidi and her family. I love you so much. So honored to call you my friends. I wish that I could give you all the awards in the world, because you deserve it, and I really appreciate all of you.
My name is Jessica Kuntz. I'm the resident care coordinator and nurse at Legacy House of Bountiful. So I nominated Colton Baumforth for the Personal Touch Award. I had been telling him about my brother joining the Army, and I came into work one day very emotional, and he asked me what was wrong, and I said, well, my brother's being sworn into the Army today, and I'm very excited about that. So he allowed me to have the rest of the day off to go watch him be sworn into the Army, and that meant a lot to me. And then I later had my baby, was on maternity leave for 12 weeks, and then when I came back, he asked me again about my brother, because he remembered that he would be graduating very soon, and he asked if I was going, and I went the 12 weeks maternity leave without pay, and I told him I just couldn't afford that. So we didn't say much after that. We just kind of went about our day. And then the very next day he came in, I was on the phone, and he slid a little piece of paper to me, which happened to be a voucher for a Delta flight. So I was able to afford a plane ticket to go see my brother graduate. It was a round trip airfare, and it meant the world to me. I flew out to Oklahoma City and watched my brother, who's gone through quite a few hard times in his life. It's been hard to see him struggle, but he was able to do something and accomplish something very amazing, and to be a part of that and be there for those memories meant the world to me, and I'll cherish that for the rest of my life.
So growing up with Jessica, she's played an incredible influence on my life, needless to say. And like she was mentioning before, we grew up with a single mother who also played an incredible influence on both of us. And my entire life, my sister's always had my back. She's always watched out for me. And when she became a nurse, it's really what piqued my interest to do the same as well too. Seeing her take care of people, and just knowing that it was something she loved so much, I knew it was something that I wanted to do also. So it was coming up near my graduation. I never expected my sister to actually be there. And I just remember being in that formation just before we were released for our first family day. The second he released us, I took a right face and saw my sister, and it just filled my heart with joy. Having my sister, being able to be there to see me accomplish the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, it was unbelievable. And I was able to see my nephew for the first time too. And that moment, I couldn't explain how happy I was. Colton, I cannot thank you enough for what you've done for my family. It truthfully means a lot. Thank you.
Colton, thank you so much for everything that you continue to do for me. Providing me with the airfare to see my brother graduate basic training not only gave me the opportunity to spend quality time with them, but to create memories that will last a lifetime. I appreciate you, and I'm very thankful for all that you do.